The commercial laundry facility operates in an industrial park on the edge of the city, serving hotels, restaurants, hospitals, and other businesses requiring large-scale textile cleaning services. The business occupies a 15,000 square foot warehouse building with loading docks for receiving dirty linens and shipping cleaned items. Large industrial washing machines, dryers, and pressing equipment dominate the main floor, operating continuously throughout business hours with mechanical rhythms characteristic of commercial laundries. The facility employs 23 workers across 2 shifts, processing thousands of pounds of linens daily. The owner presents the business as a family operation built over 12 years through hard work and reliable service. Financial records show steady growth from initial startup to current success, with annual revenue approaching $3 million from contracted laundry services. The facility maintains all required business licenses, passes health and safety inspections, and holds contracts with major hospitality and healthcare providers. Employees describe the owner as demanding but fair, someone who built a legitimate business through dedication and quality service to customers. What employees working the main floor don't realize is that the laundry operation serves as cover for illegal firearms manufacturing in hidden spaces behind and beneath the visible facility. The owner converted over 4,000 square feet of the building's rear section into a concealed machine shop, installing soundproofed walls and creating separate access that allows operation of illegal manufacturing without main floor workers' knowledge. The constant mechanical noise from industrial laundry equipment perfectly masks the sounds of CNC machines, milling equipment, and metalworking tools operating in the hidden manufacturing area. The concealed manufacturing operation demonstrates sophisticated planning and substantial capital investment. The owner hired contractors under false pretenses to build what he described as climate-controlled storage in the building's rear section, then personally installed the actual manufacturing equipment without contractor knowledge of its intended use. Soundproofing includes multiple layers of acoustic insulation, vibration dampening systems, and strategic placement of the noisiest laundry equipment adjacent to walls separating legitimate and illegal operations. The construction quality ensures that even employees working feet away from the hidden shop never hear suspicious sounds that might trigger questions. The manufacturing equipment rivals professional machine shops in sophistication and capability. 8 CNC milling machines occupy one area, computer-controlled precision equipment capable of producing complex firearms components from raw metal stock. Manual lathes and drill presses fill another section for operations requiring hands-on machining. Heat treatment equipment, surface finishing stations, and quality control instruments complete the facility, creating comprehensive manufacturing capacity for producing finished firearms components from raw materials. The total equipment investment exceeds $800,000, indicating long-term commitment to professional-scale illegal manufacturing. The operation began 7 years ago, when the owner identified lucrative opportunities in illegal firearms component manufacturing, while his legitimate laundry business provided perfect cover. The industrial setting meant neighbors expected constant mechanical noise and substantial power consumption. The business's legitimate success provided explanations for his improving financial situation. Regular deliveries of supplies for the laundry operation created cover for receiving metal stock and manufacturing materials. The location offered privacy impossible in residential areas, while the legitimate business activity prevented suspicion that purely industrial operations might generate. Production focuses on components that convert legal firearms into prohibited configurations or create complete untraceable weapons from manufactured parts. The operation produces lower receivers for rifles, frames for handguns, high-capacity magazine components, and various restricted accessories. Each component gets designed specifically for the manufacturing capabilities available, with CAD files optimized for CNC machining processes. The owner personally handles all production planning and quality control, maintaining tight operational security by limiting the number of people who know about the illegal operation. The manufacturing runs primarily during evening and night hours, when the laundry operates a reduced second shift with minimal supervision. The owner and 3 trusted associates work in the hidden shop, producing components while the remaining facility staff processes laundry, unaware of the illegal operation occurring behind soundproofed walls. The schedule allows sustained production without arousing suspicion from employees, who might question why the owner spends so much time in supposedly empty storage areas during evening hours. Distribution happens through encrypted online marketplaces and established contacts in criminal networks. The owner ships completed components through commercial carriers using packaging and labeling, suggesting industrial parts or machine shop products rather than firearms components. He structures shipments to multiple addresses in patterns designed to avoid triggering closer inspection by authorities monitoring for weapons trafficking. The distribution network extends across 9 states, moving hundreds of components monthly to buyers who assemble complete weapons or modify existing firearms. Revenue from the illegal manufacturing operation substantially exceeds income from the legitimate laundry business. The owner grosses over $40,000 monthly from component sales, generating nearly $500,000 annually in illegal proceeds that get laundered through the laundry business and various investments. He reports the illegal income as additional laundry revenue, paying taxes on falsely reported legitimate income to avoid IRS scrutiny while hiding the actual criminal source of funds. The financial structure creates an appearance of business success while concealing systematic illegal manufacturing. Federal investigators first noticed the operation during an investigation into a firearms trafficking network operating across 4 states. Agents tracing components recovered from crime scenes discover several shared distinctive machining characteristics, suggesting common manufacturing source. The components demonstrate professional quality production beyond typical hobbyist capabilities, indicating a well-equipped machine shop rather than improvised manufacturing. Investigators focus on identifying operations with industrial CNC equipment and the technical expertise to produce such precision components. The investigation reviews businesses purchasing industrial metalworking equipment, cross-referencing these purchases against power consumption data, shipping patterns, and financial indicators that might suggest illegal manufacturing operations. The commercial laundry emerges as an unusual candidate because laundries don't typically purchase CNC mills and precision metalworking equipment. Database searches reveal the owner purchased over $600,000 in manufacturing equipment over 2 years, acquisitions completely inconsistent with commercial laundry operations. Further investigation discovers additional anomalies, suggesting hidden operations beyond the visible laundry business. Power consumption records show the facility draws substantially more electricity than comparable commercial laundries, suggesting additional equipment operating beyond what's needed for textile processing. Shipping records reveal the business receives deliveries of metal stock and manufacturing materials that laundries have no legitimate need for. Financial analysis indicates revenue exceeding what the documented laundry contracts should generate, suggesting unreported income from undisclosed business activities. Surveillance teams deploy to observe the facility over 8 weeks. They document normal laundry operations during day shifts, but notice the owner and several associates entering the building during evening hours and remaining inside for extended periods. Thermal imaging shows heat signatures in the building's rear section, consistent with industrial equipment operating during hours when the laundry typically runs reduced operations. The surveillance patterns suggest the facility houses activities beyond the visible laundry business. An undercover operation begins when investigators identify the owner advertising manufacturing capabilities on encrypted platforms used for illegal firearms component sales. An agent poses as a buyer seeking custom machined parts for specialized builds, using coded language common in illegal component markets. The owner responds cautiously, eventually agreeing to discuss capabilities and pricing through secure communications. Over several weeks, the agent builds rapport while the owner grows confident enough to describe his manufacturing equipment and production capacity. The first transaction happens after the owner agrees to produce sample components demonstrating his quality. The agent receives precisely machined lower receivers that forensic analysis confirms match components recovered from crime scenes linked to the original trafficking investigation. The manufacturing quality and distinctive tooling marks prove the samples came from the same source as components investigators have been attempting to trace. The connection provides the breakthrough linking the commercial laundry to illegal manufacturing operations. Additional purchases over 10 weeks allow comprehensive documentation of the operation. The agent places orders for various components, each transaction recorded and each delivered part analyzed to understand manufacturing capabilities. The owner grows comfortable enough to mention his private shop and hint at the laundry cover during encrypted communications discussing production schedules. He explains that his day job provides perfect cover, allowing him to operate manufacturing without attracting attention. Each statement builds evidence of deliberate concealment and systematic illegal operations. Federal prosecutors coordinate with state and local authorities to plan the raid carefully. The facility's dual nature means the operation must secure the hidden manufacturing area while ensuring laundry employees understand they're not targets of the investigation. Legal teams prepare warrants covering the entire facility, the owner's residence, vehicles, financial records, and digital communications. Tactical teams rehearse procedures for accessing the concealed manufacturing area, which building plans suggest may have reinforced doors and security measures. The operation launches on a Tuesday morning, when the facility operates with full day shift staff. Federal agents and local police secure the building perimeter before entering through multiple access points simultaneously. Tactical teams immediately secure the owner in the main laundry area, then search for the entrance to the hidden manufacturing space. They locate a concealed door behind stacked supply pallets, leading to a soundproofed corridor connecting to the rear section where the illegal operation operates. The discovery of the hidden manufacturing facility confirms everything investigators suspected and more. Agents find 8 CNC machines, some still loaded with partially completed components. Workbenches hold hundreds of finished parts awaiting distribution. Computer systems contain design files for dozens of illegal weapon components and records documenting years of production. The scope of the professional manufacturing operation shocks even experienced investigators who expected to find equipment, but not such comprehensive capabilities. Evidence seized from the facility provides overwhelming documentation of systematic illegal manufacturing over 7 years. Agents recover over 2,000 finished components ready for distribution. Manufacturing records showing production of approximately 6,000 components over 7 years, communications with buyers discussing illegal applications, and financial records documenting millions in unreported income. The evidence fills several trucks, requiring specialized handling for the manufacturing equipment and careful documentation of all components for eventual court presentation. Simultaneous searches of the owner's residence and vehicles yield additional evidence, including encrypted communications with foreign suppliers of raw materials, records of component sales, and substantial cash hidden throughout his home. Financial documents show investments in properties and businesses using illegal proceeds laundered through the laundry operation. The owner maintained detailed personal records of his criminal enterprise, apparently documenting his success in building an illegal manufacturing operation while maintaining legitimate business cover. Laundry employees expressed shock upon learning about the hidden manufacturing operation. Most worked at the facility for years without any knowledge of illegal activities occurring behind soundproofed walls. Some employees remember being told the rear section contained private storage that they shouldn't enter, but never questioned the explanation, because owners commonly reserve certain areas for personal use. The revelation that they unknowingly worked feet away from illegal weapons manufacturing disturbs many who feel their employer exploited their labor to provide cover for criminal operations. Media coverage focuses on how the owner used a legitimate business as perfect cover for illegal manufacturing, with the constant noise of industrial laundry equipment masking sounds of machining operations. Stories emphasize the sophistication of the concealed facility and the years of operation without detection, despite the hidden shop's proximity to dozens of employees. The case generates discussion about how criminals exploit legitimate businesses and the challenges of detecting illegal operations hidden within apparently normal commercial activities. The investigation expands to trace components through distribution networks extending across 9 states. Federal agents work with state and local police to identify buyers who purchased from the owner, determining whether they used components for illegal weapons projects. Some buyers cooperate, admitting they purchased untraceable parts, knowing they came from illegal manufacturing. Others claim ignorance despite evidence suggesting they understood the components' illicit origins. The effort to trace all manufactured components becomes an ongoing investigation. Financial forensics trace illegal proceeds through the laundry business and various investments. The owner reported component sales as additional laundry revenue, paying taxes on the false income to avoid IRS scrutiny. He invested illegal profits in real estate and businesses, creating complex ownership structures through shell companies. Investigators eventually trace over $3 million in proceeds, substantially more than initial estimates suggested, indicating the manufacturing operation was extremely profitable over 7 years. Trial proceedings begin 9 months after the arrest. Prosecutors present overwhelming evidence, including the seized manufacturing facility and equipment, recordings of undercover agents' transactions with the owner, forensic analysis linking his components to crime scene weapons, and financial records documenting years of unreported illegal income. Expert witnesses testify about firearms manufacturing, explaining why the components the owner produced are illegal and how his professional quality equipment enabled production rivaling legitimate manufacturers. The defense attempts to argue the owner believed his activities were legal, claiming he manufactured unfinished components that don't technically constitute complete firearms under certain interpretations of law. This argument fails against evidence showing the owner explicitly discussed illegal applications with buyers, shipped complete functional components, and took extensive measures to conceal his operation through soundproofing and building modifications. The jury quickly concludes the owner knew exactly what he was doing and deliberately operated an illegal manufacturing business. Conviction comes after a 4-week trial. The jury finds the owner guilty on all charges, including illegal firearms manufacturing, interstate trafficking, money laundering, fraud, and tax evasion. The conviction validates the investigation and provides accountability for 7 years of illegal operations that put thousands of weapon components into criminal circulation. Victims of crimes committed with weapons containing his components attend sentencing, describing how untraceable firearms enabled violence that devastated their families. Sentencing occurs 6 weeks after conviction. Federal guidelines call for substantial prison time given the quantity of components manufactured, the sophistication of the operation, the duration of criminal activity, and the connection to violent crimes. Prosecutors argue for maximum sentences, emphasizing that the owner's exploitation of his legitimate business to cover illegal manufacturing represents particularly serious criminal conduct deserving harsh punishment. The judge sentences the owner to 27 years in federal prison. The sentence includes 18 years for manufacturing and trafficking charges, 6 years for money laundering, and 3 years for tax evasion and fraud, with terms running partially consecutively. The judge also orders forfeiture of all manufacturing equipment, the laundry business, properties purchased with illegal proceeds, and restitution to victims totaling $600,000. The harsh sentence reflects the sophisticated nature of the operation and the substantial harm caused by years of illegal manufacturing. Civil asset forfeiture proceedings seize the entire laundry facility, all manufacturing equipment, vehicles used in the operation, and properties purchased with illegal proceeds. The total value exceeds $5 million, making it one of the larger forfeitures in illegal manufacturing cases. The laundry business is sold to new ownership, who completely renovate the facility, removing all traces of the hidden manufacturing area and implementing transparent operations with no restricted areas. The case prompts discussion in law enforcement about detecting illegal operations hidden within legitimate businesses. The laundry cover proved nearly perfect, with constant noise masking suspicious sounds and legitimate business activity explaining power consumption, deliveries, and the owner's improved financial situation. Only careful data analysis, identifying anomalies in equipment purchases and power consumption relative to business type, eventually indicated potential hidden operations worth investigating. Industry security experts study the case to understand how the owner created such effective concealment within an operating business. The soundproofing quality, the separate access points, and the strategic placement of noisy laundry equipment all demonstrate sophisticated planning. The case becomes training material for investigators learning to identify potential hidden manufacturing operations by recognizing patterns in equipment purchases, utility consumption, and building modifications that might indicate concealed spaces. 3 years after the operation's dismantling, federal agents continue tracing components through distribution chains as they appear in investigations and crime scenes. Some components manufactured 7 years earlier are just now being recovered, having circulated through multiple owners before coming to law enforcement attention. Each recovery provides additional evidence of the operation's impact, and sometimes leads to arrests of individuals who purchased or possessed the illegal components. For the commercial laundry industry, the case creates brief concerns about whether legitimate businesses might face increased scrutiny due to one criminal's exploitation of the business type. Industry associations emphasize that the vast majority of commercial laundries operate honestly, and that this was an isolated case of criminal abuse rather than an industry-wide problem. Most customers and regulatory agencies recognize this distinction, though some facilities temporarily face additional questions about their operations. The employees who worked at the facility without knowledge of the hidden manufacturing operation receive no criminal charges and face no liability for the owner's crimes. Several sue the owner's estate seeking compensation for emotional distress and reputational damage from being associated with the illegal operation. Some employees struggle to find new employment due to their association with the facility, despite having no involvement in or knowledge of the criminal activities. 5 years after the case, the facility that once housed both legitimate laundry and illegal manufacturing operates as a normal commercial laundry under new ownership. The new owners maintain complete transparency about operations, conducting tours for regulators and encouraging openness that contrasts sharply with the previous owner's secretive approach. The facility's history gradually fades as years pass, and most workers have no connection to the criminal operation. The story concludes with recognition that legitimate businesses can provide perfect cover for illegal operations when criminals invest in sophisticated concealment and exploit the normal activities of their cover businesses. The laundry manufacturing case demonstrated how industrial noise, legitimate power consumption, and routine commercial activity can hide illegal operations for years when properly planned. But once investigators identified anomalies suggesting hidden operations and conducted thorough investigation, overwhelming evidence emerged, proving systematic criminal activity. Vigilance in identifying businesses whose equipment purchases, utility consumption, or operations don't quite match their stated business type remains essential for detecting hidden illegal manufacturing. The owner succeeded for 7 years because each aspect of his operation had plausible, legitimate explanation when viewed individually. Only comprehensive analysis across multiple data sources revealed patterns indicating probable hidden operations. The work of detecting such sophisticated concealment never ends, requiring investigators to look beyond surface legitimacy and investigate anomalies that might indicate criminal operations hiding within apparently normal businesses.